Okay, boys and girls, so what we're going to do right now is you are going to make a background for your dinosaur. And I think the most fun and easiest way to do your background is to make a cityscape. Now, I don't know how many of you have been to the city this break, maybe not this time, but I'm sure you've been there before. But lots of skyscrapers are rectangles. So all you have to do is draw wide rectangles, tall rectangles, short rectangles for the buildings for your cityscape. And after we do our buildings, we are going to do the windows. And you don't need to worry about doing this with a ruler or with a pencil. We're just going to kind of make this go relatively quick because I don't want you to get too stuck on making the buildings. And you can even have your building come up from behind the other building, and you can have them at different heights, and you can even have them come all the way off to the side, depending on how big you want to make them. Okay, so now you're going to experiment with making different windows inside your building. That one was a little bit curved, but that's fine. And your windows can be rectangles or they could be squares. But what you want to make sure is that the windows are somewhat the same size in each building. So you want to try to make them the same size and the same kind. And you could put as many windows as you want. You could put lines through them. You can make windowsills. And you basically want to have them come pretty much to the bottom. We're not going to make doors. We're just going to make windows just to kind of make it easier. And you want to try to make them equally spaced apart. You can have rows of windows. Those go across. And you can have columns of windows. And you want to try to make each building, all the windows should be the same in each building. And each building should be a little bit different. Now, this whole project is based on shapes. All we're doing is making rectangles and squares. And we're not worrying about using a ruler. I think I've told you in the past that a trick of making straight lines is leaning your hand on the paper, and this way you have control over what you are drawing. You can make them rectangles like this. You can make, maybe I'm going to do some squares now. The squares are all four sides are equal. And the rectangles are two sides are equal and the other two sides are equal. And of course, this isn't totally perfect, but we don't really want it to look totally perfect because I want this to be hand-drawn and I don't want you to get caught up on, having to make it perfect. So even some of my windows are a little bit slanty, but I'm not going to worry about it because this is our background. And when we make our dinosaurs, they're going to cover up a lot of the front anyway, so we don't have to worry about making so many perfect lines. See, we're going to make a lot of windows here. Also, as you can see, I'm using my hand on the left-hand side to hold the paper still. So hopefully this isn't boring you too much, but each building should have a different variety arrangement of rectangles or squares. No two buildings should be the same. I want you to really try experiment with different size rectangles. And it's amazing with just making different sizes and different amount of rows and columns. Okay, rows are going across, columns go down. So just by doing different arrangements of rows and columns, you can make your cityscape look really interesting. And this entire background is based on geometric shapes, which are rectangles and squares. So since I did some medium-sized windows, some smaller ones, and some baby ones, so I'm going to make some bigger ones here. I think I'm going to just do 2 rows. And then eventually I'm going to add some details. Now, because this building is behind the other building, I'm trying to make it look like it's coming from behind. So I'm not going to be able to draw the entire window. And after I'm done drawing the outside, I think I'm going to add some details inside the windows. Some windows will have 4 sections, and some windows will have 2 sections. And see, you can't see the other side of this, so I'm just going to be doing this part of the window because it's hidden from behind. But you want to try to just add some details to your windows by drawing vertical lines. Those go up and down, and horizontal lines. And I think I'll just do some 2 windows here that are kind of just to add some variety to the shapes. So maybe you want to do like the outside of your windows, the perimeter of your windows, and then eventually you can go back into your squares and rectangles and make little details. So I think I'm going to, maybe I'll make little windows here, make little horizontal windows here. And we're going to keep our background black and white. We're going to keep it nice and easy. And then you'll be done drawing your cityscape. And next week, I will show you how to do the dinosaurs.